In a quiet neighborhood in Bowie, Maryland, there's a school doing education differently. Here, lessons go beyond textbooks and focus on the whole child. I'm Michaela Newton, and this is the Mandala School. In a quiet neighborhood in Bowie, Maryland, a small private school is redefining what learning looks like. Each morning at the Mandala School begins the same way, with a smile and a hug.
The Mandala School, it's a Sanskrit word and it means together. Everybody working together for a cause, moving as one.
Coming from a school that didn't see them where they were, I have one child that's on the spectrum, and he really didn't have friends. He was very isolated, wasn't approaching kids, wasn't meeting new friends. It just felt very inclusive here. They said they didn't know how to teach him. That was basically what they told me. He actually had to repeat kindergarten a second time. When he came here and arrived here, he started writing, he started communicating more. He was just learning at a very fast pace, very quickly, because he was seen and they learned how to adapt. They adapted to him and met him where he was.
Here, lessons don't begin with a bell. Instead, it starts with a sound bowl. At the Mandala School, education starts with movement and reflection. Students like Ilias are taught to meditate before they begin the day's work.
Before I was at the school, I was homeschooled. Friends, I made Ellie, Carter, Jillian. I'm friends with everybody.
There are currently about 66 students enrolled at the school. Some came from traditional public or other private schools, while others were homeschooled.
20 years ago, we were strictly a summer camp. And then over the years, parents were saying to us, this is such a great model. You blended yoga, art, and science together. So open a school. And we were like, okay, that's not that simple, but we'll try it. So in 2019, unbeknownst to all of us, with the COVID coming and everything, we started to make application to MSDE. And so in that, you have to go through a series of inspections, health inspection, fire inspection. So I remember to this day, on March 13th, which was a Friday, the fire inspector came at our previous location in Columbia when we passed, and then the next day, the whole nation was shut down. However, once things opened up and they put protocols in place, we were able to have in-person school.
What began as a camp in Columbia, Maryland, inspired by invention, grew into a movement. The nonprofit institution focuses on enrichment programs and project-based learning.
11, 12.
Okay.
Okay, now we already have the rocks. Let's go stay away for a little bit.
Its curriculum stretches far beyond the basics, blending STEAM education with art, music, entrepreneurship, and cultural studies.
It was about coming to Prince George's County.
2, 3.
In September of 2025, the school opened the doors to its campus in Bowie with the help of local and state officials.
This was the previous Bowie Montessori Children's House that nurtured children for many, many years right here on this campus and nurtured my children for about 8, 9 years. So this really is like a full circle moment for me to have Antoinette and Valencia really build up the campus, and they've done such a phenomenal job. They've got some amazing students here. So it just kind of brings joy to my heart to see this school come to fruition right here on this wonderful campus. And I call it a safe haven because it's always been like that.
The Mandala School purchased the 15-acre former Bowie Montessori Children's House campus, founded in 1966 by the late Ann Riley. In every classroom, students learn in specific groups and at their own pace. But teachers make sure no student is left behind.
So our youngest is our yellow group, and that is pre-K, K, and first. And then we have Rose group, which is our second and third grade group. And then 4th, 5th, and 6th is Blue group, and that's the group that I manage currently. 7th and 8th grade is our green group. And then purple, they got to name themselves. Purple group is our high school group, and they're 9th and 10th grade. Anybody else for sky group? They need a word repeated for royal group. Yes, Ariana. For royal group is puzzle. Puzzle. He's going to cut the puzzle together.
I've been at one private school, not this one, but a different private school for like kindergarten. And then for first and second and third grade, I've been at a public school. There was a lot of bullies, not really bullies, they didn't bully me, but they had been bullying my brother. And so when he went from 5th grade to 6th grade, he had to come here. So we didn't have as much bullies anymore. And he made some better friends, and I made some better friends. What'd you do?
My favorite subject is writing. Anything really. I've been writing 2 books on creepy, mysterious subjects, and it's really free and space to do things just by yourself, independent. In Waterloo, we had lots of it's always in a group, we learn in a group, we have to do the things in a group. Here we have a checklist that we do things, and then we all do it by ourselves. We have a tiny lesson, and we do it all by ourselves. That does not say.
What does it say?
Unyielding. Okay. I finished that, and so, I need to get my book.
So if I had a day off,
I would thank my teacher, Ms. A. She's just so welcoming, and she's really nice, and she does a lot of things for us.
My favorite teacher is Miss A.
So my first name is Antoinette, and the last name is Murray, and then I am the head of school. And I'm also the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade lead teacher. It's really important for us to have individualized education. So I need to know every last one of my students, which comes back to that, again, that relationship building that I have. So I have a background, I taught in Baltimore County, and our school was one of the first schools that had an autism inclusive classroom. My classroom was used as a mainstream classroom. So I'm well versed in IEPs and 504s, which is why Lisa, my neurodiversity consultant, Lisa Richer, and I work hand in hand.
I'm neurodivergent too, so I take notes or I don't remember and I'll interrupt, so that's something about me. Neurodivergent in essence means an individual whose mind diverges from what is considered typical or normal. We live in a neurotypical society, although many of us don't actually thrive in that environment. And for example, in schools, we teach to test, especially in the public school system. We don't do that here, but in the public school system, we teach to test. So if you're not learning in a way that you can learn to a test, then you might not retain the information.
We have a lot of students that come to us with PTSD, anxiety, depression. A lot of students of ours are seeing therapists and things of that nature, so they need to have these additional tools. I will state with you that one of our students who has high anxiety is no longer on medication because he said, I have learned the tools here to be able to manage my anxiety. That's big.
At this school, we look at the emotional, then the social, then the academic. And some people think that's backwards, but if you aren't able to be self-regulated and grounded, to be able to be calm enough to listen, just adults too, right? If we can't listen to understand and we're reacting to things versus really processing them, then we're not gonna be able to engage with others. And we're a very community-based program, so you have to be able to collaborate across, and then you're not gonna be able to access curriculum. In one of our classrooms, actually our second and third grade classroom, I went in and observed, and the tables were totally cluttered, and the kids were getting up and eating snacks whenever they felt like it. So at that age, they don't really know that, oh, if one kid gets up, the others shouldn't get up too. So it was a really simple shift that we cleared their desks, we gave them a specific time to get snacks, and then they were able to focus. But then there were other children in there that may not be able to focus because there is a neuro difference. And so then I would work with the teachers or work with Antoinette to work with the teachers on what accommodations do we need to give them to be able to do the work that we're asking them to do.
Some students choose to work in groups among friends or in cozier corners of the classroom. Others opt in for a more quiet and serene option, outside.
It is important for us to identify any student that is struggling and then make sure that we're meeting their needs. We believe that emotional and social comes first. It doesn't matter how strong the academic program is, unless students have the social and emotional skills that they need to be able to get through the academic rigor, then they are not successful.
I used to be a clinical social worker, like human development, children, that's kind of my jam. We homeschooled for the first few years as well, so I was kind of deeply rooted in the research about how kids learn. I'm very attuned with what my child needs to learn, and so this, to me, was not unconventional, it was right. It's unfortunate, of course, that everybody doesn't have access to this kind of environment, but it checked all the boxes for us. Marley, she is the best and the worst of her parents. She's got like my attitude. She's very snappy and sassy. She's very analytical. She loves being connected to nature. Like when she was little, she used to pick up the cicadas and put them in her pockets and bring them in the house. You know, our homeschool classroom looked like a science lab mixed with like a nature center at a local park. In her free time, she is putting together robots and coming up with ideas for things that she wants to sell. She's talking on like her tablet with her friends, and they're having, you know, girl talk. I'm gonna cry now. I hope she takes away that all those pieces of her are valuable, that they're important. And so when you're a parent, at least for me, I hype my kid up. You know, I tell her that all those little quirks she has, that's what makes her unique. The way her hair coils, that's what makes her unique. The way she like all the things that might be considered something that people might tease you about, something that you're not gonna be as confident about. I'm hyping that up the most. And so my hope is that when she leaves here, she is walking away believing that, because that has been encouraged here too. So she's a girl who likes to climb trees and play in the dirt, but she also likes to kick it with her girlfriends and sing their favorite, you know, movie songs and wear lip gloss and stuff. I want her school to be the place that also tells her that's okay. You know, that's important, you're amazing, you're smart, you're kind, all those things. And so far, that's what Mandala has been doing.
Now the students head to their next class, Tech Life, just a few classrooms down.
Check to make sure we don't have any what? What are they? Updates. Yes.
What is the code? I didn't know that. 16 is the code. I don't know. Connection.
There's Ethan.
Connection to the host was
There's James. There's Carter.
It's the beginning. Well, now it's.
Okay, we're measuring here, and we're measuring here. Okay? You understand that, Avery? I'm sorry, Aaron, you understand that? All right. Anyone else have a question about the dimensions? Anyone else have a question about the measurements? Okay. Tech life, it is everything technical, but it's not just, we think computers, we think tech. It's old school tech. So everything from drilling using screwdrivers, hammers, all that type of stuff. And then, of course, the tech we now know. So our goal is to have all of our students know everything from tablets, from touchscreen devices, all the way up to laptops, desktop computers, know the difference between them. And also the operating systems. So Chrome OS, Mac OS, Windows, maybe even some Linux. It teaches them to think outside the box, number one, and realize that there's more than just what they see right in front of them. Helps them explore. You may have to leave your zip code, you may have to leave the state, you may have to leave the country, but following your passion for whatever that may be. It's about exposure. For us exposing them to those different things, but also for them to expose themselves to that, to say, you know what, let me go check that out.
During recess, students are able to give their minds a break and put their bodies to work, engaging in physical activity. What is your favorite subject here? What do you like to do most?
I don't know if it's called a subject, but my favorite is PE. Usually we're outside in the field and we run and see who's the fastest. Dang, you got funny! Yo! I ain't gone, but yo, Mo ducked for his life. He literally ducked for his life. Yo, Carter.
Other way, other way, other way.
Oh, shoot, this mic. Ah! Jeremiah, no! And I picked the match. And I'm sorry she don't do that.
As the day winds down, lessons linger, not on paper, but in spirit. Students end the day with chores that they're assigned to. It teaches them responsibility.
So we have different jobs that we have to do. And I do trash. I'm Sophie, I'm the manager of trash. And I'm Morgan, and I do trash.
What are you doing?
I'm passing out snack for the transportation people.
And the school isn't done yet. Construction is underway for a high school that the Mandala School is building in a house located on their campus.
We do plan on adding 11th grade next year and then the following year 12th grade. So we will officially be pre-K 4 through 12th grade.
The timeline for the high school, we're looking at perhaps maybe about another 6 to 7 months because we're in the fundraising phase.
What would you want them to take away after they leave here?
That they can do anything because it's really more than just about the school. We move as one, collectively, to make this, to just try and get through.